What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 8th day of April. Here we are sitting at about $0.00262 with roughly 9 hours and 54 minutes left in the day. Down about 4.4%. Bitcoin itself is down just a little bit on the day and might be pulling back as well. Everybody's super bullish on the Iran news and stuff, so that it makes sense that we might see a little bit of downside. This price action is not what I expected it to be. That doesn't mean that we've got death and destruction coming our way, but it is interesting. I was expecting a little bit more separation if we'd be bullish, and then maybe a back test and then continuation if we were to continue, or that could be it. What we're doing here, it is like you had a fake out. You pulled back aggressively, but then you pumped yesterday. I mean, Zebec likes to toy with us, but whenever you've got these high points here, you sold off. You sold off. You sold off. You sold off, right? Whenever you do this wishy-washy stuff, you had higher prices to go, and then you sold off, and you sold off, right? This wishy-washy stuff typically isn't the moniker, the mark of a high point. Doesn't mean it can't be. It can be. But it gives me a little faith that we still have higher to go. And I'm sticking with that until proven otherwise. I would say, let's see, at what point do we become bearish? I mean, that's a good point there. Yeah, we can do that. It's interesting, though. I don't know if I want to say that. I like that one more. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense to me. And even a little bit above there. Unfortunately, it's not what you want to hear because it's so far away. Once we see lower lows here, that's when we get bearish. We could be in this weird situation where 382, we go down to the 236 and we still bounce higher. Like it's kind of odd. But looking at this fib, I don't know if I've got it. Let me see. Looking at this fib here, I would think 2 daily closes below the golden ratio. Closing 2 days below 00254 would be implicative that we do go below this low. So I'd start to get shaky in the boots here if we close 2 days in a row there. So we already closed 1 day. So we need 2 days to validate, right? You're being deceitful here. Finding supported prior resistance, we need 2 days to be a little bit more certain. If we do that before we even get down to these areas, I might start to shift bearish even. But officially, yeah, getting below this low, getting below these high points, that's probably what would make us bearish overall. Bearish as in, yes, death and destruction, probably lower lows. That's not what I'm forecasting. That's just the what if I'm wrong, right? I want to address that. So if that happens, we've got the game plan there, okay? Even if I'm not making a video, you see this, and I go away for a week, and you see that we've closed 2 days below the golden ratio. You're like, oh, that might be a bearish implication. Oh, we got a lower low. Higher highs are off the table now. That's just kind of the thought there. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll come back to the daily time frame. My prediction, again, my assumption, and I said it clearly, so let's not get confused, is that we have higher to go. I said it very clearly in the beginning of the video, and I did not take that back. I was just saying what happens if I'm wrong. At what point do we reverse that call? That's all. None of that, what I was just saying, was a prediction to the downside. It's just a, if we are to go down, this is what it might look like. But I do think we're moving up, not down. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, why do I do this every single time? And then I'm at this point. I need to do it on my free time. I just need to adjust which chart is on the default for me. Volume coming in. Kind of a monkey pump there. Yeah, you look good. I think you look fine. I do believe that we're going to continue to move up. Looking at the RSI, bullish for sure. Definitely bullish. Stochastics have reset. You're looking bullish here as well. And the MACD is reset as well. And you're bullish overall. Not a bad look on the 1 hour. The 4 hour time frame, stochastics are a bit weird. They're a bit weird. The price action's a bit weird, though. I don't hate it. You found support here last time. Why not find support here this time? You found support here before. You found resistance here before. Why not do it this time? The MACD looks bullish for all it's worth. I think it's very bullish here. Bouncing off that zero is actually a very bullish thing. holding this level for support. Low to high. Golden ratio support, baby. You close right at the 236. We need to close above the 236. So my thoughts in getting above this high are valid, not when we get a wick above the 236, but when a 4-hour time frame closes above it. Okay, when we close above 00274, 002743, let's just say, so that we're not cheating. We close above that red line there on a 4-hour time frame, and let's say 2 in a row as well. That implies directly that we're going to see prices probably above 003. And at that point, my friends, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I think it's time to get off this wagon. This could push all the way up from 003 to 0035. I don't care. I don't mind, especially with where you've come from. I think that you killed it if you're selling here. You know, you might think, oh, this is the target area. Why would I sell in the lower third of that area? Because if you bought down here or you made this trade and you've been holding this whole time, if you bought down here and you made this trade you've been holding this whole time, you caught most of the move. That's all that matters, man. You don't need to get the hat. Just get the body. And we've got the body at that point. 0026. I do believe that we're going to move up higher. That's my stance from here. Okay. RSI bouncing off the 50. That looks good. MACD looks good. The stochastics are weird. The daily time frame, you do have bearish divergence, but that already happened. We're done with it. It doesn't matter. Stochastics are bullish. The MACD is bullish overall. You don't have bearish divergence here. You just have lower highs, which is not the same thing. So, yeah, I'm sticking by it until the job's done. And I think that we might be doing that soon if I'm looking at this correctly. It might not be by the end of this week, but sometime certainly by the end of this month, if not even next week. I would expect that we will be on our way to something around this trend line. And that trend line from here, I mean, it's very acceptable to expect something around 0034. If you want to hold out for 0034, that's fine. We might see some deceitful stuff, guys, working our way up there. I mean, look at this. Imagine here you wanted to sell at the trend line, but it was just shy of the trend line. So you waited, then it dumped. You're like, shoot, it's going to drop. I'm going to sell here. And then it pumps again. It might deceive us. Maybe we do something like that and we get that deceitful top, and then it finally comes in. And you have to hold and hold. I don't know if it's worth the headache. I think as long as we're like somewhere around this high, we get above 003, maybe even 0033, it's a perfect time to let go. A lot of you watching this video might be doing that, so just be aware. If you want to get out, my style is to get out before everybody else, ideally. So, if a lot of people are thinking, that sounds smart. I'll sell here between 0037. I think it might go a little higher. Or I'll sell here at 0032. I think it might go a little bit lower. I think anytime you're above 003, 0031, I think it's a good time to sell. And every single time that we go above that price that I'm going to say it's a good time to sell, everybody's going to call me dumb. They're going to say I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I've been bullish on it this whole freaking move, right? And they can say that I'm dumb at the very top, and then as time goes on and we come back down, who's laughing now, right? Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Good luck. Good luck. Take care. Bye-bye. And again, I do believe we're going higher. Just be aware of the implications, the indications, the signs that might not be true. I think that we're good. I think things look good, but you never know. Just be aware. Okay? Bye-bye.